This story is about the Quackers family and the Palooza Quacking Talent Show. Once upon a time, in a charming little pond, there lived a duck family of 3. Mr. Quackers, Mrs. Quackers, and their mischievous little duckling Quacky. They were an adventurous family who always was ready to embark on exciting adventures. One morning, as the family waddled along the water's edge, they noticed a sign that said, Palooza Quacking Talent Show. Quack your way to stardom. Quacky's little eyes widened with excitement, and he quacked with joy. We should enter, Mama and Papa. I have the most spectacular quack in the whole wide world. Mr. Quackers and Mrs. Quackers couldn't resist their little one's enthusiasm, so they agreed. They spent the entire week practicing their quacks, improving their talents, and creating funny routines. Quacky, being the smallest, had the highest-pitched quack that could make even a frog giggle with delight. Finally, the day of the Palooza Quacking Talent Show arrived. The stage was set at the centre of the pond, adorned with colourful flowers and twinkling lights. Ducks, frogs, and even turtles gathered to watch the show. First up was Mr. Quackers. He took a deep breath, puffed up his feathers, and let out a quack that was so loud it made all the lily pads shake. The onlookers burst into laughter, clapping and cheering for his very loud quack. Next was Mrs. Quackers. She gracefully glided to the centre of the stage, spun around, and let out a quack that was sweet as a bird's lullaby. The crowd couldn't help but sway along, charmed by her musical quack. Finally, it was little Quacky's turn. He hopped onto the stage, his excitement bubbling over. He let out a series of quacks that went up and down, left and right, making the onlookers giggle and clap their wings. He even added a little dance, flapping his wings in rhythm with his quacks. The crowd erupted into laughter, and everyone was on their feet, clapping wildly. The judges, who were 3 wise old ducks, conferred among themselves and then announced the winners. For the most booming quack, Mr. Quackers takes the prize. Mr. Quackers bowed, his heart filled with joy. For the most musical quack, Mrs. Quackers is the winner. Mrs. Quackers bowed gracefully, a proud smile on her beak. And finally, for the funniest and most charming quack, the award goes to Quacky. The crowd went wild, and Quacky couldn't believe his tiny feathers. He had won the hearts of everyone with his funny quacking and delightful dance moves. That evening, the Quackers duck family celebrated their victories with a party. They invited all the animals that lived at the pond, and from that day on, they were known as the Quacktastic Trio. And so, the Quacktastic Trio lived happily ever after, quacking their way through life, spreading laughter and joy wherever they went. And if you ever visit their pond, you might hear their echoes of laughter and their quacks of happiness, reminding you to find joy in even the simplest things, just like the delightful Quackers duck family of 3. The end. Thank you for listening. And if you've enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe to our channel, and turn on your notifications so that you can stay up to date with our latest stories.